Good morning, it's Wednesday, yay, and I'm running late. It's just one of those real life things, and it's funny that we are going to talk today about juggling, homeschooling, homemaking, and running a business. This is one of my most requested topics, and actually a reader wrote in and begged me if I could talk about this, so here I am. But I have to tell you that this is real life because I am running behind, and Silas is with me. Say hi, Silas. Say hi.
Hi.
I'm running behind this morning because I was going to be all on time, and I was actually going to be early, and then something happened. I was actually going over my Periscope and going over my day and just making sure, and all of a sudden I realized, oh my goodness, we have this big promotion going on today, and I realized that the email that was supposed to go out at 7 a.m. this morning had the wrong link in it. So I'm quickly texting my manager who takes care of all my emails like 10 minutes before 7 o'clock saying, please, are you awake? Because she's in a different time zone, and I was like, can you fix this? And so we got it all taken care of like 10 minutes before, but that kind of changed my morning, and I'm running late. But yay, Jen, that you got to make it on live because I'm running late. So, I just thought that is real life. That is real life in the sense of that juggling, homemaking, and homeschooling and running a business, life happens sometimes. Do you want to come sit on my lap? Is that what you want? Okay. This is Silas. He is my 6-year-old. And for those of you who are new to my scope, my name is Crystal Payne, and I am the founder of MoneySavingMom.com, as well as the creator of the 14-day online course, Make Over Your Mornings, and that's at makeoveryourmornings.com. And if you'd like to check that out, if you're feeling like you're struggling with juggling everything, you can go to makeoveryourmornings.com and you can scroll down to the bottom and get the first day for free. Just type in your name and email address and you'll be able to get the first day for free. So that's at makeoveryourmornings.com. I'm also the New York Times best-selling author of the book Say Goodbye to Survival Mode. I'll show you that. Here is my book, Say Goodbye to Survival Mode. If you are struggling with feeling like you're just overwhelmed with life, this is 9 simple strategies to stress less, sleep more, and restore your passion for life. So that's Say Goodbye to Survival Mode, and that's available on Amazon or at your local bookstore. I am also wife to Jesse. We've been married for 12.5 years, and we have 3 kids. Catherine is 10, Caitlin is 8, and Silas, who you see right here, is 6. And we homeschool, and we live in the Nashville, Tennessee area. So glad to have you all joining us today. If you are new, I would love to give you a shout out. So if you want to leave a comment and say I'm new, I would love to give you a shout out. And I know that yesterday a bunch of people told me that they could not comment, and I was gonna mention, hi Tammy, hi baby toddler me, whatever your name is, hi Megan from Colorado, hi Silver Ropes, and Tuco Girl, I'm not sure. Hi Lydia. Good morning Seattle. Anyway, so if you cannot, if sometime you cannot comment on my scope or on another scope because the comments are too full, they only allow, I think it's the first 150, I'm not completely sure. But what you can do is you can hop off the scope and hop back on. And if you do that usually 4 or 5 times, someone will have dropped off and you will be able to comment. So if you're ever watching a scope and you want to comment and you're not able to, hop on and hop off, and that's a great way to be able to comment. So good morning, Louisiana. Yay, Wendy, I'm glad that it worked for you to hop off and hop back on, and then you can comment. Okay, so I think I probably missed some new people, but I was going to mention that I always go back and look at the comments on the replay because I want to get to know you guys, and I don't always get to see your comments, so I always go back to watch so that I can make sure and catch your comments. Yay! So glad that worked for you. Okay, so I'm going to share 3 keys for how I juggle it all, quote unquote. Do you want to go ahead and go downstairs and have breakfast now? Yes, yes ma'am. Okay, you put in the trash already. Okay, all right. Okay, you go do that. Real life. Can you shut, hey buddy, can you shut the door whenever you go out? Okay, thank you. All right. Yay, it worked! Okay, so this question that we're going to talk about today came from Sarah. Sarah emailed in and she said, "Hi Crystal, I'm new to your blog and Periscope. I was wondering if you could scope about how you handle homeschooling with all of your other responsibilities. I own my own business in addition to homeschooling, so I was hoping you can give me some tips on how you juggle it all. I feel like I'm drowning sometimes and just mediocre at everything, but not really excelling at my job or homeschool. Thanks for considering it, Sarah." So this is for Sarah, and for the rest of you who, there's a lot of you who have been asking, I've noticed on the replay saying, how do you homeschool and run a business? How do you do it all? So this is for you guys. Yay, representing homeschoolers. I'm actually a homeschool graduate. My husband and I are both homeschool graduates. So we are second generation homeschoolers, and we had a really positive experience as homeschoolers, and so we are excited to be homeschooling our children as well. And so far they are thriving, and it's been a great choice for our family. But how do I do this? How do I run a business, work full-time, have, I believe it's 17 people who work for me right now on my team. Not all are full-time, many are part-time, but managing 17 people, managing all the details of running a business, producing products, writing blogs, speaking, traveling, how do I do all of that and homeschool and keep up my house and not lose my sanity? Well, first off, you need to know that if you're expecting the tips on this scope to be how to do it all and do it perfectly and how to be Superwoman, you can just hop off right now, because that is not what we're going to be talking about. But I'm going to share with you very authentically, very honestly, how I do it and how I don't do it. So, hi Carolyn, it's nice to see you. Okay, so number one is that I try to be organized. Try being the key word. I'm not always as organized as I would love to be. If you came to my house right now and you went and you looked in a couple of rooms in my house, you would say, yeah, you need to work on some organization, because I do. And that is real life sometimes. It's not going to be perfect, but I try to be organized. If you have seen some of my other scopes, which if you haven't, you can check them out at catch.me/MoneySavingMom. That's katch.me/MoneySavingMom. I talked about how I use Google Calendar to help me stay on track, to keep all of the details organized, to know what I need to do each day. I talked about how I stay on top of my inbox, which can be very overwhelming as a business owner. I also have time blocks, and I talked about that in my scopes, about how I schedule my day with time blocks so that I can be all where I am at one time. That's really important to me. I try to be all there. So when I'm homeschooling my kids, I try not to even have my phone or my computer there in a different part of the house, because I want to be fully present for homeschooling. But it's the same thing when I am working, when it's my business time, I am fully present for that as well. So setting up those boundaries for those different things that those different responsibilities, those different hats that you wear. For me, compartmentalizing and having systems to compartmentalize has really helped me to be able to do more and feel less scatterbrained. I also work very hard to stay on top of clutter. I found that clutter not only clutters up my home, it clutters up my life, and it clutters up my mind. So being really ruthless about getting rid of clutter and staying on top of that has really helped me to be more organized. And then just having systems for how we keep our house clean, who has what jobs, what jurisdictions are for each person in our family has specific jurisdictions, and knowing those jurisdictions. So number one, I try to be organized. Number two, I say no a lot. Can I do a scope on chores for kids? I actually have one planned, I think, that I'm going to be doing hopefully soon. So that's a great topic. Yay, you can comment today. So I say no a lot. And this for me is I say no to opportunities all the time. Almost every single day I say no to someone who is asking for an endorsement, asking for me to partner on their project, asking for me to go and speak, asking for me to be on their podcast. I just have to say no a lot. I'm very careful about what I say yes to that's outside of the normal responsibilities because I can't do it all. I also say no to a lot of extracurricular things. Someone asked me the other day, so what kind of co-op are you in for your homeschool? And I said, we're actually not in co-op. We're not in a co-op for our homeschool because my kids are involved in activities. They each have one activity. That's the boundaries we've set, and that's what works for our family. So I am not, like right now I'm doing a Wednesday night Bible study with some dear friends of mine, but it's only 6 weeks. I probably would not have been able to commit to something if we were talking like 6 years. But 6 weeks I wanted to do that because it's dear friends, and it looked like a great, short-term sort of thing. But I don't do very many, I don't have very many regular commitments that I have committed to every single week because I can't. I have to very carefully guard my morning homeschool time and our afternoon, my working time. So, and that is how we've split it up. So in the mornings, I work before my kids get up, and then I homeschool. And then after lunch, I work usually until dinner time, and my husband is the one who homeschools in the afternoon. So I have to really carefully guard those times because if, let's say in the afternoon, I were gone all afternoon at something, then it's going to mean that I'm going to have to work in the evening and be away from my family. Or if I have a commitment in the morning, it means that homeschooling would get shortchanged. So we're just very careful about what commitments we commit to so that we can protect those time blocks. So I have to say no a lot. And it's, I say I have to say no, I actually like to view it more as I'm choosing to prioritize my time differently. So when I say yes to one thing, it means I have to say no to something else. So making sure that my yeses are the right yeses and my no's are the right no's. And I don't always get it right, but that's what I aim for. Knowing my priorities so that I can make sure and stick with those is my goal. I also say no to busyness, in the sense of that I am very careful about carving out time every single week for rest. So one of the things that I've done for a very long time is on Sundays, I do not blog. My blog is silent on Sunday, and I feel like I have zero responsibilities on the internet on Sunday. I do pre-schedule stuff on social media, but other than that, I don't blog. And a lot of times my phone will be off all of Sunday, and Sunday is just my day to recharge. So saying no to busyness in certain areas of my life, carving out that time so that I can say yes to rest, because I need that. I can't just keep going and going and going. I'm not one of those people that has the capacity to just go and never take time to rest. I will just burn out, especially as an introvert. Okay, so 1, I try to be organized. 2, I say no a lot. And 3, I have help. And this is really important, and I want to be super honest about this because I think that sometimes people can look at someone on the internet and think that they are doing everything. And I try to be really honest about the fact that I don't do it all. When I it was probably about 5 years ago, I owned the fact that I am a work-at-home mom. And as a work-at-home mom, as a business owner, I'm going to have to make different choices than other people are going to make if you are in a different situation in life, because I'm a work-at-home mom, and that means I can't do what moms who don't run a business can do, and that's okay. And it also means that I have to have help in order for me to have my priorities in place. I cannot homeschool, which is a huge priority and commitment for our family at this season of life, if I don't have help. And so saying that's a priority, rest is a priority, my marriage is a priority, there's these few things that are a priority, and so therefore I have to bring on help in order to be able to do those few things well and keep them a priority. So these are some examples of help that I have. My husband, he is amazing. As I've said before, I am not Superwoman, but I married Superman, and he was not this when we got married, and he will freely tell you that. He was lazy, and he was often just, kind of wasting time on the internet. And there wasn't social media back then, but there was a lot of stuff that you could do on the internet that was just wasting time. And it's been really exciting to see how God's changed my heart towards him, and God's changed his heart towards me and towards our family. And he is amazing. He does half of the homeschooling, so he teaches math, science, and language arts, which he is so good at and he loves doing, and it's so great for our kids. So he teaches that. He does mostly all of our cooking right now, and he cooks really great meals. We're talking, the kind that I am like one of those one pot, one bowl sort of women. It's like if it has more than 3 steps and, 8 ingredients and more than 2 bowls, I'm out. But he likes where it'll have all these different steps, and it's this beautiful recipe, and it's so good and nutritious and wholesome. So he loves cooking, and that's something we never would have envisioned. But when we moved to Nashville from Kansas in May of last year, we sat and we talked, and I said, what is it that you want to do? I'd love for you to just try some things. And so he's tried a lot of things, and some of them he said, I don't enjoy this, but he's found that he loves helping with the homeschooling, and he loves doing the cooking. So he does the menu planning, the grocery shopping, and the cooking right now. So that is amazing, and I'm so grateful. He also takes care of all of our bill paying. So all of any invoices, any bills, anything to do with finances, he takes care of it. We sit down and we talk about, we're very much on the same page about our goals and our budgeting, but he takes care of the actual carrying out of all of that. Researching, our retirement, how much we're going to put in, talking to the financial advisors that we have and figuring out what we're going to do there, and then bringing it back to me, and then we discuss it. So he's also in charge of that. We go out to eat once a week, or we get takeout and we bring it home once a week. That's just something that we have budgeted for and we love. My kids are a huge help. They help with the laundry, they help with the dishes, they help with the maintenance, they help with the picking up and the cleaning. They do a lot around our house to help. They also help with some business stuff for us. And we have cleaners. We have cleaners that come once a week. This was hard for me at first because I felt like that is so extravagant. But then I realized what I was paying them and what I was getting back in return. I'm basically buying 5 hours of time, 5 hours every single week by having them come. And what I pay them is so small to think about the value of those 5 hours. So we have cleaners that come once a week, and so then they do especially the floors and the bathrooms. So the deep cleaning, taking care of all of our floors and our bathrooms, and then some dusting and windows and some of that. So the other thing I found about having cleaners is that it forces me to make sure we keep our house clean, because when they come in, they need to have things picked up. They need to have things ready for them to actually be able to clean. And so it's great accountability for keeping our house clean. And then the other thing that most of you probably all know is that I have a great team of people who help me with the business. There is no way on earth that I could run the business without a great team of people. And so we really are focusing as much as possible on getting me to the place where I am the community engager, because I want to be able to read your comments and respond to them, and respond to some of your emails and see what you're saying on social media, and doing the periscopes. I want to be the community engager as well as the content creator. And other than that, just being the visionary for the company. So that's really our goal. We're not quite there right yet. I'm still involved in a lot more details than I need to be, but we're slowly working towards that, so that I can just focus on those few things that only I can do, and also focus on those things that I love to do and that feed me, so that the business is a blessing and not a burden to me and to our family. So I try to be organized. I say no a lot, and I have help. It's not always smooth and neat and easy, and I've had to learn to give myself grace. I've had to learn to sometimes overlook those messy rooms or that inbox that has way too many emails in it because I need to focus on something else then. I've had to give myself grace for that. But overall, the business, for the most part, is a blessing to our family and not a burden. It allows us to be flexible, and like next week we're going to South Africa as a family, and the business is allowing us to be able to do that as a family. And yes, it's taken 10 years to get to this place, but it's a beautiful thing that all those hours and all that work, to see it pay off and see the fruit of that effort. So those are the 3 keys for how I juggle it all or not, and I hope that they have encouraged you. I also wanted to recommend, let's see, I know we're going to go a little long on this one, so if you need to hop off, just do what you need to do. But I wanted to recommend this book by Jessica Fisher. I'm actually going to put up a post today on this. This is Good Cheap Eats, Dinner in 30 Minutes or Less. How does that sound? And I love Jessica. She and I used to live in the same town, and I've spent a lot of time at her house, and she is an amazing cook. But she's one of those who she can just effortlessly put this beautiful spread on the table. And the pictures, so I love the details in this book, but then the pictures are just, they're beautiful. See if and then there's lots of fun little tips. And then one of the other things that I love is each recipe, it will show you like sides that you should make with it, and also kind of how to get it on the table in 30 minutes. So that is Good Cheap Eats, Dinner in 30 Minutes or Less. And then our book that we are going through this week for our book study or book club or whatever we're calling it is Nourished, and that's A Search for Health, Happiness, and a Full Night's Sleep by Becky Johnson and Rachel Randolph. And we were in section 2 yesterday, and we'll be in section 3 today. But I wanted to read this paragraph to you because I just loved it. It said, when you look at your home, how do you feel? Do you exhale and relax, soaking in your blessings? Do you want to invite someone over for coffee or tea? A warm, inviting home doesn't have to be perfectly ordered. It is just one that says, I value myself, I value my family, and I value relationships. Basically, when you walk into a nourishing home, it feels like you're walking into a hug. That inspired me so much as a homemaker. That's what I want to create in our home. That it's not perfect, but that it's warm and that it's inviting, and that my family feels like when they walk into our home, it feels like walking into a hug. That really inspired me. And so we're going to be reading section 3 of Nourished today. If you'd like to join in, that is, let me see for sure, part 3 is chapters 7, 8, and 9. And it is about nourished bodies and nourished souls. I think, nourished selves, sorry, nourished bodies and nourished selves, and it looks like it's really good. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow, hopefully at 7:30, around 7:30 a.m. Hopefully we don't have any more business emergency crises that I have to deal with. 7:30 a.m. Central Time for more morning motivation. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a wonderful day.